But yeah, the down home punch is really good.
Oh, you just said we were live.
Yeah.
You cut off my thing.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Do your thing.
No, it's taint now. Taint. Welcome to the show. Being in a bad mood already.
Why are you in a bad mood?
You messed me up.
Oh, come on.
I like to get the ball rolling downhill. Let us know in the comments if you like the opens. If you listen to the opens, if you like them, let us know. Let us know. But we have so much coming up for you today, I would say. Some juicy gossip. Mr. McMahon. Mr. McMahon steps aside as CEO. Tyreek Hill seems to have lost his damn mind. Sasha Banks fired from the WWE. What does that even mean? As you can see, one of us is very, very brokenhearted about it. But all that, and maybe some more, coming up. This is the show.
Sounds like a action-packed, eventful show we have today. So what do you want to start with?
See, I didn't falsely build it up. Did you say I'd say so much more? But I said maybe more.
Well, I think you said so much more at the very beginning. You said we got a lot of shit.
Maybe more.
Something.
That was a lot. 3 things.
Okay. I guess
we usually do about three topics. That's usually about what we do.
Well, let's see what happens. So what do you want to start off with?
I think we could start with Tyreek Hill and work our way up to Mr. McMahon. The genetic jackhammer.
Yeah. So, what? Are we going with the destruction of
all around
of Patrick Mahomes, the downfall?
So, the story I heard from him. Well, I've heard a couple things from him. Number one, he was on a podcast. We'll give it credit. It was It Needed to Be Said podcast. That is the name of it. And the It Needed to Be Said podcast. And basically there he said that Patrick Mahomes Tua is more accurate than Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
That was the start of things.
Now, is this the guy? Tua is the guy that they say can't throw, 5 yards, right?
Right.
Okay.
Now, funny thing is, when he was on the podcast, the guy did call him out right there on it. He said, "So you're saying you would rather have someone like hit you right in the numbers than have the guy who could throw it deep down the field?" And he said, "Yeah, I want it right in the number so I can hit it, catch it in stride, and take it 70 yards like I did." When he referenced whatever game he did it in.
So it sounds like
he just thinks. Mm-hmm.
It sounds like he just wants all the credit.
Yeah, apparently he made Patrick Mahomes. And without him, Patrick Mahomes will be nothing.
And it sounds like he just wants to be in a position where he catches like underneath plays and then just gets all those racks.
Yeah.
Or he
catches it on a slant and takes it to the house. Because that's going to happen every play.
Right. Oh no.
And then, now I didn't see the full story on this one here, but he also said that he predicted Patrick Mahomes' downfall this year. I guess because he doesn't have him anymore. This is a
Wow.
little conceited, but
Just a bit. I don't know, man. I don't see I, I don't see Tyreek Hill even getting to the playoffs.
well, that's a good question. Who do you see having a? We'll do it in twofold here. Better season,
Mahomes.
as a person, like as a, not as a team,
Mahomes.
like stats wise. Do you see? Okay,
Mahomes.
Mahomes. Let me
Yes.
tell you. Let me get the question out. Golly. So you say Mahomes gonna have better stats wise.
Yeah.
It's hard to compare for
Well, I
like
mean,
receiver to quarterback, but you can tell what's good as a receiver and what's good as a quarterback.
if uh if Hill happens to be like the only weapon that they have, I could,
Hmm.
I could see him having like 2,000 all-purpose yards or whatever, because like he's the only thing that they have to
Yeah,
to attack with. But still, 2,000 all-purpose yards. Mahomes is guaranteed like 3,000 yards passing easily.
yeah, he pretty much almost gets like 3,000. That's his
Yeah,
like
and that's an off
that's
year.
a bad season for him.
Yeah, so yeah, Mahomes, and unless he gets hurt, I'd say that's the
Well,
only
we're not
saving
talking about
grace.
that part.
No, but that'd be the only way he doesn't have a better season in my mind.
Okay, so Patrick Mahomes. So look this up. Last 5 years. One, two, three, four. Sorry, last 4 years. He threw for 5,000 yards,
Mm-hmm.
4,000 yards, um, 40, 4,700 yards, 4,800 yards. So let's just say about, I don't know, 4,500 yards. We'll just put that as the baseline there. 4,500 yards for Patrick Mahomes is about his baseline. So if it's his downfall, then he's going to be below that.
Yeah.
So Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, it's funny. Tyreek Hill said that they weren't giving him the ball enough, but he had more
Was it?
yards and catches than he did the previous year.
So over that same time, 1,400 yards, 800 yards. I think he got hurt that year. 1,200, 1,200.
Yeah, I don't think it's
So,
fair to compare the two though.
well, I'm just saying, we're just putting baselines here. So we'll just say 1,200. 1,200
Mm.
yards for Hill is about average for him, and then 4,500 yards is about average for Mahomes. And again, he's saying that Mahomes is going to fall below the 4,500 mark, to where he's going to maintain his, or maybe even do better than the 1,200. So,
Which I don't see it. First of all,
so,
the Bills are the best team in that division, and
and he's got to play him twice.
right. I would say that the Patriots are even better. The Patriots are better than any team because they got Belichick.
Yeah, they got that magic. So, do you say, you, so we said, or you said Patrick Mahomes will have a better season.
Easily.
And again, setting those baselines, you're saying, oh, well, I don't know how to plug in the baselines with it. So, over under the 4,500 yards, would you say? Without Tyreek Hill.
Over or under 4,500?
Yeah.
you said he's been at 4,500 since he's starting.
Yeah, he's been about fourth. He's been close to 5,000 each year, except for one. One year he threw like low 4,000s. So I said to put it as a
okay, I got you. I see what you're saying. Oh yeah, then yeah, I'll take the over. I think he can
and
do
then
it.
for Tyreek Hill we have 1,200. Take that.
It depends. I mean,
So if one were to have the better season, right, Patrick Mahomes would then throw for 5,000 yards, to where I would say like even 1,500 yards for Hill would be a better season.
yeah. I mean, I don't
If we
want
were
to.
gonna,
It's kind of sad that we're so nonchalantly expecting a 5,000 passing yard season, five
hey,
thousand
that's the
yard
NFL
passing
these days.
season. I know that's just sad.
I mean, you throw it every down.
I remember when 300 yards a game was impressive. Now that's like average.
Yeah, they throw it every down nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the I don't know who the Chiefs running backs are, but I guess that's not important.
No.
It's the Mahomes show, but he's losing his weapon. If I were to predict, I would say yeah. I would say Patrick Mahomes would have the more chance to have a up season. Although, well, actually, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna go with Tyreek Hill, and here's why:
Mm.
because the competition for Patrick Mahomes has gotten better. So it's not anything about him per se. Although he has lost one of his biggest weapons, and I don't think that they replaced that weapon.
No, they're supposed to have I can't remember his name, but there's supposed to be a receiver that they have that's pretty good.
Or he's not Patrick Mahomes, or he's not Tyreek Hill good, but
Who knows?
now you gotta compete with the Broncos 2 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
Oakland, they have competition from top to bottom. So we expect that that's the toughest division in football, probably. So just based off of that fact, he's gonna have a down year.
Yeah, well again it kind of depends on, well, one, it depends on how well Tua is playing. Two, it depends on how, because like, you know how Odell Beckham was supposed to be the focal point of the Browns, and it just never
Yeah,
worked out. It could be like that, man, where they just don't know how to get him involved in the offense.
but he has the most accurate quarterback apparently in history. How
He
can you not get him the ball when
I
he's
don't
just
know.
as accurate?
Maybe three
Sounds like
months.
he's like overcompensating for Tua or something. It's like, you know, it's like when you go to a new girlfriend and then you're like spending all your time about how happy you are.
Yeah. Oh man, she does things
She's
that.
so much better.
Yeah.
When deep down inside you're probably, in your closet covering yourself with dirty clothes, crying at night.
You wouldn't know anything about that, huh?
I have no idea about that.
Okay.
It's not a personal experience. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it just, I don't know. He seems pretty delusional. He kind of lost me with a lot of things that he said. And of course,
Well,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, well, we'll see halfway through the season if he still has that um, same sentiment about Tua.
Right. I think 3 months from now, maybe Tyreek Hill's mom posts an Instagram video of all the misses.
Oh yeah, they did do that. Yeah.
Odell Beckham's dad did that to Baker Mayfield.
Oh, we do have some Baker news. You want to talk about that?
Oh, sure, why not?
I mean, there's only a little bit of news. So, likely, still, Baker, no one wants him still. So,
No.
that's still a thing. Um, but he is likely going to go to the Panthers, or right now it's heavily that he's going to the Panthers.
It's been heavily the Panthers for a while, but then the Seahawks are still heavily involved as well. It's either the Panthers or the Seahawks.
Oh yeah, this week, as of this week, that's what I heard,
Mm.
that they're having talked with the Panthers. Um, it was the damnedest thing that I heard. Like, what's stalling their trade is that the Browns don't want Jimmy Clausen. Like, that's what's stalling the trade. And I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Then cut him if you don't want him. What do you mean? That's why you're stopping.
I thought it was the Panthers want the Browns to eat most of Baker's salary, like 19 million of it.
I'm sure that's part of some of it too. Like, yeah, who's gonna pay for him?
Man. And then it turns out that Watson might not even play.
Mm. Your brownies, they
Don't call them my brownies.
they definitely know how to mess things up for themselves.
Man, it's a good thing they got rid of Ken Dorsey. This is what happens when you go to fucking analytics. What did I tell you? Now you got a rapist.
Allegedly. First of all, no, he's not. He's alleged. And second of all, as we talked about it, from these stories, it doesn't sound like he was doing anything out of the regular.
It doesn't matter. What matters
It sounded
is
like he was just being him. He wasn't forcing anybody to do anything. Like, this is what he had come to expect because he was being enabled by the Houston Texans, allegedly.
well, all that matters is Goodell and his little big face is going to suspend Watson for like 3 years.
Is it 3 years now?
I don't know.
I thought it was 1 year.
I don't know. I'm just.
Now remember, or if I wouldn't say remember, but if you didn't know, last year Watson missed a whole year, but he was not suspended. He was just sitting because he didn't want to play for the Texans.
Yeah.
So that didn't count as a suspension year.
So how good is he supposed to be after 2 years of just sitting?
I mean, that's going to be the question. I don't know if he's still. I mean, if he can be what he was, in Houston. I mean, you have quarterbacks who have missed a year from injury, and they come back and they're fine. Oh, well, I wouldn't say fine, but
Yeah, but this is 2 consecutive years. Plus, on top of that, you got all the bullshit off the field. Plus, like, no
when
matter
are they
what.
going to suspend him, though? If they're going to do it, like, what are we waiting on? The first week of the season? Waiting on people to buy that season ticket so that you can tell them then. Oh, by the way, we know you bought your season tickets and all, but now Watson's not going to be here.
I don't know how it works, to be honest with you. I just know it's bullshit. Like, either suspend him or don't. I don't know why you're gonna wait. Especially if you already have like the uh, the sentence already determined in your head.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're waiting on. I don't like just if you're gonna do it, do it. What is this? Oh, we might suspend him depending on what if he beats the civil case. And it sounds like even if he does beat the civil case, then he's still going to be suspended because the NFL is above the law.
2 years ago, the Browns were projected as Super Bowl contenders. They should have never fired Ken Dorsey, I'm telling you.
Oh, by the way, their
Or John
odds actually
Dorsey.
went up this week.
Whose odds?
The Browns
For what?
to win the Super Bowl.
Nah.
So apparently Vegas knows something that we don't know.
What,
But
did
yes, their
did it
odds
go
of winning
from
the Super Bowl went up.
did it go from .01 to .02?
No, it went up like 300 points or something like that. Which is it's just weird. Either Vegas knows something or they don't know something.
Huh.
You know, it could be either way. They either have inside information that all's going to be good with Watson, or they don't realize all this is going on, which is hard to believe, you know, because that's what Vegas is, or, you know, the odds, the betting odds people pretty much make their money off of bets, so they should know all this information.
Right.
And so it's hard to believe that they don't know about this. So it's interesting to see that they do know about this and they increase the odds.
Well, I don't think I'll ever see the Browns win a Super Bowl in my lifetime.
What do you think? Who do you think has a better chance of winning the Super Bowl? The Browns or the Cowboys?
Oh, that's good.
Sooner.
I mean,
Now,
if
it's
we
hard to. Uh huh.
if we go just based on of talent, Cowboys. But they're both ran so clusterfucked, like, you know.
I mean, Jerry gets the talent.
He does. But
I
he
don't know
also,
what happens.
he squanders it too.
I mean, I would say they're a pretty good run organization, Cowboys. When they don't cut people that, you know, don't make sense.
They also
Other
don't.
cuts make sense. They, you know, they give the players that should be making the money make the money.
They also don't win the big game.
That is the anomaly. And I'm going to say Dak Prescott, this is a make or break year for him because I'm starting to I'm starting to lose faith in him being the guy.
Well, didn't like Tony Romo have like 20 seasons of not making it to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he did. But you know, there's yeah, I don't know. It's always like I think it's just the matchups because we always get matched against that one team that no one wants to play round one in the playoffs, and sure enough, Seahawks, San Francisco, they went on that hot streak. And that, by the way, they made it to the championship game. The Packers, no one wants to play the Packers in the playoffs ever, especially in the first round at home.
I would love to play the Packers. You know that that's a guaranteed win. You know, Aaron
Maybe
Rodgers.
Jordan Love was there.
Aaron and I only do well in the regular season. Rodgers.
Not when you're playing the Cowboys. Um, Speaking of Cowboys and not Cowboys, to jump just um, just talking about Texas teams, you may remember the the other Manning, the new Manning, Arch Manning. He was at the 40 Acres this weekend, apparently. Um, Texas is like one of the one of the top schools that he's going to be going to, or they're in the running to be the one that's picked.
Yeah.
I think it's like down to three schools now. There's Texas,
Alabama.
Georgia, and Alabama.
Yeah. I
Now,
remember at one point Ohio State was in the running. I'm like, there's no way he's not going to go to a Southern school.
you would think he's like would go to Tennessee, but because of his lineage. But
Yeah, but Tennessee sucks.
well, if you get the heir apparent, apparently, just turn everything around for you.
Tennessee sucks, and then they have questionable recruiting methods as far as who they let put on that uniform.
Go ahead. I know you want to do it.
Nope. I was I was gonna leave it there. We're leaving it there.
I was like, when you started that, I was like, who's he even talking about? Oh. But,
Just
yeah, this is big news that Arch Manning was on the 40 Acres. One of his like ninth visit to Texas, Austin. So there's
I
that.
don't know why Texas would even be on the list.
Because it's Texas. That's for one. Number two.
I get that, but come on, Steve Sarkisian's not gonna. No, he's not gonna be the one to bring him back. He's nothing but an alky. Are you kidding me? Looks like for the second week in a row, Shadow has dropped on us. I swear, man, he's got to get that internet taken care of. Let me see if he's going to get back on. Sorry, folks, for the delay. Okay.
Didn't get me that time.
Alright, Jesus Christ. Sorry,
I know,
folks,
right?
for the dead air. I don't want to. I don't even know where we was left off.
I was just saying, Manning looks like a Texas quarterback.
Yeah, but Steve Sarkisian. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, he'll be out. He'll be on his way next year. So we're still in the running. Um, what I wanted to talk about is why this kid's in 8th grade, or is he in 8th grade? I think he's in 8th grade.
I thought he was a senior.
No, not yet.
Oh.
And we're freaking
Then, yeah, why were we talking about him?
we're freaking rolling out the red carpet like this is the biggest signing ever. You remember when they did this with damn it, what was that guy's name? He ended up going to Notre Dame. Um,
You're talking about Jimmy Clausen.
yes, Jimmy Clausen.
Well, Jimmy, well, first of all, he was a senior when he did that. He graduated high school, and he came with his little fur coat and his limo and his state rings.
To
And did
Notre
it,
Dame.
yeah, on his signing day.
Golly, golly.
And you know he had the fur coat just draped around his shoulders.
He didn't even have the armholes
Yeah.
filled.
Uh,
Well, you know, he's a kid, so that's
well,
that is what kids be doing.
and that was the ultimate backfire because he didn't do shit. I think he may have done well his first game as a Panther in the NFL, and then after that, nothing.
Well, I mean, he made it to the NFL. There's that.
True, but so did
But
Deshaun Kaiser.
I mean, did he really ever get a chance though?
Clausen?
Either one of them. Kaiser.
Oh,
Kaiser never really got a chance.
no, Kaiser no, unless I think he was traded to Green Bay. So
He went. He got drafted to Green Bay, didn't he? Or
no,
no, not Green Bay.
he was drafted to the
Browns.
Browns.
Yeah, he never really got a chance.
Yeah, that's what fucking Sashi Brown did. That you know the GM worked under the GM that they fired for doing a poor job. And they're like, you know what? Let's bring them back. Fuck the
So,
Browns. I swear to God. Stupid fucking.
anyway, let's move on to our next story.
Let's talk about let's talk about Tennessee's players.
Well, we got something better for you.
All right.
Sasha Banks.
Oh God.
It was so. First of all, this whole thing was funny. Um, so the report on the street is Sasha Banks has been let go from WWE, but it's not like written in stone, or they haven't. Usually WWE, when someone gets released, they put out the "We wish whoever the best in the future endeavors."
Uh huh.
That has not come out for Sasha Banks, and she's still on the WWE homepage, or like the website, listed as a talent there. But all the reports are saying that she has been released.
Wasn't Bray Wyatt's future endeavor, whatever, uh, delayed too?
I don't know if his was delayed. What was interesting about his though is his said Bray Wyatt. It didn't say Wyndham Rotunda.
Right.
Well, that was weird. Like, why are you using his stage name? Put that in quotes.
Hmm. I don't know. I could see him changing as having changed his legal name to Bray Wyatt. Who knows?
Yeah, I can see that, but yeah, it just struck me as odd that they called him by his stage name instead of his real name on that. Wish you best in your future endeavors. But um, that's where we were with Sasha Banks. So um, now the funniest thing is like this news first started on Wednesday,
Mm.
and um, I forget the guy's name, Raj something. He's one of the dirt sheet guys. So they got to make their name by being the first to report stuff that before it breaks news. So he reports Sasha Banks has been released, and then the rest of wrestling, Twitter, IWC, Internet Wrestling Community, all the other dirt sheet people, they're trying to confirm it, and there's all this frenzy. Um, Fightful, who's a pretty reputable source in the community, they put on their page that Sasha Banks was released, but then you click on their page, like you click on it for the full story, and it says, according to reports, she was released. So they never really said it was released, well, although they tweeted that she was released. You keeping up with that? Because that was pretty
Yeah.
confusing.
Basically, one person said that she's released. It hasn't been confirmed, but everybody's going with it.
Yes, because the person who said it is a pretty reputable source. So all the rest of the dirt sheet people, instead of waiting for WWE to say something, they're trying to confirm it. There was even one point where um, Sean Ross Sapp with Fightful, he's tweeting Snoop Dogg, who's her cousin,
Uh-huh.
and he's trying to get the information from Snoop.
Like Snoop cares.
like he's and like he's gonna tell you if he knows anyway.
Right.
But yeah, he's tweeting Snoop. Hey Snoop, can you help me out here?
Well, they kind of have to release them, don't they?
Yeah, I mean they do because fixing the product isn't an option, which is what they're upset at.
Well, it's not even that, but they walked off of an event that they were scheduled for.
Yeah, now we talked about that.
I know.
They didn't leave like they weren't. You're up, and then they're trying to walk out. They're
Right,
walking
right.
out right then. They left hours earlier. No one
I,
just knew about it.
and I get that, and I understand it wasn't like a pay per view or anything like that, too. But you still have a job to do.
Well, that's the thing. They didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the consequence. And guess what? There, Sasha Banks is gonna think that she's gonna go to fucking AEW and make it big, and it ain't gonna happen because nobody gives a shit about women's wrestling. People
There
say
you
that
go.
they don't. People say that they do, but it's just always gonna be women's wrestling. Look at the WNBA. It's been around for years. It's been around for decades, and it's always been a joke.
There you go. If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
It's not hate,
I
it's
don't think
facts.
I don't think that's the same with women's wrestling. I think women's wrestling. It's
Okay.
not that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's not that no one cares about women's wrestling. It's that the promoters don't care about women's wrestling enough to build a decent storyline to get you to care about women's wrestling.
I'll agree with that. You're absolutely
So
right.
that's where the problem is. I wouldn't put it on the ladies wrestling themselves. Um,
Yeah, but if they were
like
better,
they're
if they were better and they drew, like the only thing that they're good for is eye candy.
well, obviously they're good wrestlers too. Some of them.
Some of them
Sasha
maybe,
Banks is a
but
good wrestler.
but okay, the best women's wrestler still isn't still isn't as good as some of the worst men's wrestlers.
Oh, come on. Okay, you gonna tell me that you would rather watch a Baron Corbin match than a Sasha Banks match?
Yes, because the end of days is an exciting finishing move.
Well, I'd rather watch paint dry than watch a Baron Corbin match.
That's
What
fair.
about the Miz? What about the Miz? You'd rather watch? You're gonna invest in a Miz match
I love the
over?
I love skull crushing finale. It's my favorite move in all
Or
of
you want to watch
wrestling.
the? You think the Great Khali's gonna get out there and put on some five-star classic?
Ah, the blah, the blah. That was Punjabi for Great Khali's my favorite wrestler.
See, that's where you lose your credibility.
How's that?
Calling the Great Khali your favorite. He can't even like.
He's my favorite
He can
Punjabi
barely
wrestler.
move.
What are you talking about?
He can barely move.
Yeah, he was kind of a joke. But yes, I would rather watch a Great Khali match because at least the person Great Khali is going against is going to be exciting.
That's true. Well, I don't know if that's true.
And at the very
They,
like,
he that match, that Punjabi prison or whatever match with
yeah,
Dave Batista was maybe one of the worst matches in history, and that had nothing to do with Dave Batista.
he had one. Which one was that one?
I don't know. There's only like three, I think. Maybe there's a little bit more,
Oh, I thought there was only
but
two.
no. Yeah, there's one with the Undertaker,
And there's one with the
and then
Big
there's
Show.
one with. No, he had one with Batista. I know that for sure.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I went with Taker though, because somebody was hurt, or not Taker, Big Show.
In a Punjabi prison match?
I think
Boy,
so.
that's riveting. That's riveting television right there.
Hey, I like the Big Show.
I like the Big Show too, but I don't like the Big Show versus the Great Khali.
Oh, that was great.
I'd rather.
That was a 5-star match.
You gonna tell me you you would you don't want to watch one wrestling compared to that?
I'd, two big people beat the shit out of each other.
Too slow,
Two
large.
giants.
You remember at the time now, Big Show is over the hill. He's not like in his prime Big Show. This is like I can barely walk Big Show. I just had my hip or whatever. I had to put a plate in my hip to get me to walk. That Big Show.
Yeah, two giants just beating the shit out of each other.
Speaking of Big Show, I remember there was a match with him and Kane, and they pretty much just choked each other the whole match.
Yeah.
It was just like a struggle of who's gonna get the choke slam off. And there was no punching, there was no nothing. It was just them struggling back and forth to do the choke slam. Like, what is this crap?
They were didn't they tag team for a while? Yeah, because they were in the
Yeah.
Royal Rumble, and they were knocking people out.
Yeah. Now this was the first match, but the second match or so, it got better. But the first match, yeah, they were just like fighting back and forth on who's gonna do the choke slam.
Yeah, I'm kind of hit and miss with Kane. Sometimes I really like him, and then sometimes I'm like, eh.
It depends on who's his dance partner.
True. The Undertaker stuff was great.
Yeah. That was his fight forever person, the Undertaker.
But I don't know. Sasha Banks she thinks she's gonna go to AEW and make a big payday, and I don't know, ain't gonna work out.
Well, I think she could. She definitely could. Like, she is that talent
They
that
can't
could turn things around.
if they can't
However,
If they can't afford
Mhm.
Bray Wyatt,
It's not that they can't afford him. They don't want to pay for him.
they can't afford him.
Again, Tony Khan is more, he has more money than Mr. McMahon.
That doesn't mean he can just burn it. There's still budgets and shit.
Well, you're saying he can't afford him. He can't afford him.
Nope, you can't afford
He
him.
just doesn't want to pay for him. And let's let let's let him get back first. He hasn't even got back yet.
Who, Bray?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's still a chance he goes to AEW. Not that they need him. Um, but Sasha Banks, she could definitely be that talent that turns the division,
Mm, no.
but she needs the backing from like Tony Khan has to let her build a division or put more emphasis on the women. And right now he doesn't do that.
I'm
Like
telling you.
they have the talent right now to have the best division, women, the best women's division. They have the talent for that. You know, they have Ember Moon, they have Tony Storm, they have Britt Baker,
Yeah.
they have Chris Statlander, go on, so on and so forth. Like they have the talent. It's a matter of booking, and Tony Khan doesn't book the women's division. Like
Isn't that
right
Kenny
now,
Omega? Kenny Jazz Hands?
no, it's Tony Khan.
Or I thought Kenny did the women's division.
He did at one point, but
Oh, okay.
TK has taken over.
He just took care over everything, huh?
Yep,
Well,
that's part of why Cody left, because TK took over everything.
you know, in NXT, the Charlotte and Becky and Bailey and Sasha, they were all making a buzz, and they were putting on entertaining matches. Everybody was talking about how, oh, the women's division's back. And then they go to the main roster, and they basically do the same thing. They they make the women's division more exciting. They're on top. They're featured on television. They're main event and pay-per-views. But you know what happens? People stop giving a shit. Because
No,
at the
go
end of
ahead.
the day,
Sorry, finish your thought.
at the end of the day, women's wrestling is fucking boring. And it looks like a rehearsed dance routine. It looks like a rehearsed dance routine with the men, but it's even worse with the ladies. It's super choreographed. It's not believable. It's terrible. Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong.
I don't think I even need to. We'll let the comments section tell you.
Okay.
Go ahead, comments. Let him know he's wrong.
Okay.
And again, I'd rather have that than again. Well, I'm not saying all women. Like this isn't like just because you're a woman you need to have a chance or whatever. I'm saying there are women that are clear cut good wrestlers. Bailey, Sasha Banks.
Bailey's not a good wrestler. Sorry.
You,
She's
I'll
not.
let you go. You let me go.
Okay.
Bailey, Sasha Banks, um, I'm thinking Becky Lynch, maybe. That's in WWE. That's about it.
You're not gonna put Charlotte in there?
No.
What about Asuka?
Oh yeah, Asuka,
What about
Io
Alicia?
Shirai.
What about Alicia Fox?
She's not in the WWE anymore.
Oh, she's not.
No.
She's my favorite.
I'm not gonna put Carmella. I'm not
What
gonna
about
put
Dana Brooke?
Selena Vega. I'm not gonna put Dana Brooke.
Come
Her
on, her
huge
24-inch
hooters.
pythons.
Oh, she's got 24 inches, all right. I mean, freaking Natalia gets her
So
tits
wait,
get
wait.
bigger every time she's on the screen,
So, yeah, I'm
which is
surprised
not a
she's
bad
still
thing.
around.
I put a tweet out about that too, by the way, and added her.
But Natalia's still being around.
No, I said her. The tweet was, every time Natalia's on TV, her chest is bigger, and then dot 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 respectfully. And I tagged her in it.
Any response?
No, no, no.
No, okay.
I didn't expect a response, but it's just needed to. This information that needed to be said.
So backing up just a little bit, you're saying that Bailey is a better wrestler than Charlotte Flair?
Yes, no question.
Okay.
What is Charlotte Flair? A moonsault that she misses every time?
Well,
Like the
she,
worst moonsault in WWE?
well, it's because of you know what I was saying
No, it's not even that.
about the athleticism not being as good or as exciting or as high impact. But I
It's
don't
not
know.
even that. I'm not even going there. You're going there, of course,
Of course,
because genetics and stuff, but I don't even need to go there. I'm just purely talking about because Io Shirai, on the other hand, has the best moonsault uh, in the business, in the company.
no way.
Who better?
The Great Khali. I don't know who does a moonsault anymore.
There you go.
That's kind of an extinct move, isn't it? I don't even fuck. When's the last time I've seen like a dude go on the ropes like that?
Um, I mean, really, the only high flyer in WWE right now is like Ricochet, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
Everybody else is pretty much low impact, don't get hurt, because they
yeah.
make too much money.
Damn, man.
Yeah, I think Ricochet is the only one that does a moonsault. Even if I don't even think he does one anymore. I haven't seen him do one in a while, but he's the only one that does, flippy stuff.
Well, I don't know. And I kind of look at Charlotte's missed moonsaults the same way as I do Ric Flair running into the turnbuckle, doing that little flippy thing.
Like that's just her shtick.
Yeah,
I mean, she tries to hit it.
she's a she's
She
a better
she
worker
sells
too.
it. She sells it like she hits it,
Hmm.
but she just doesn't.
And she talks shit.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't see it with Charlotte Flair.
I don't see it with Bailey. I don't know where the fuck you're getting that from.
Well, she's hurt right now, but watching her during the pandemic really turned me over to her being a good wrestler. I mean, her and Sasha Banks pretty much carried the pandemic era.
See,
Era.
I don't think Sasha is a good wrestler. I think she's a good worker. I don't think she's a good wrestler. Like she knows how to work the crowd and she knows how to portray herself as a star. And she's got a couple good high impact moves, and I like her finish, her little her bank statement. But as far as a wrestler, no.
Oh, we already know. For you to be a wrestler, you got to have a dangle. So,
No, I didn't say that at
speaking
all.
of,
I just said the product isn't as good.
well, I think it comes down to booking.
It's slower, it's weaker, it's
Be
less impact. Like you said, the moves don't look as good. Just yeah.
just book them better.
Yeah, I
TK,
mean that does help.
Vince,
Everybody.
and
Everybody. That's they always say that they're going to focus on a women's division, and when they do, they end up just putting it on the back burner again.
I mean, at one point the women's division was like in full. Oh, speaking of which, the Paige is also leaving the WWE, maybe also ending up in AEW. But and I only say that to say there was one point where the women's division, the women's revolution, like you said, when Charlotte and Bailey and Sasha, Becky, Paige, when they like first came in, I think they were putting real. They were really trying to build the women's division, and then in comes Johnny Laurinaitis, people power, and that he kind of lives in the Stone Age about women's wrestling. He lives with you, where you know you're just there to look good and have big boobs and jiggle around the ring. That's all you're good for.
But I don't think I don't know. There's a lot of them that aren't even good for that.
Oh, they don't get pushed.
Well,
I'm
even the
not
ones
even
that
joking.
like Nikki Ass, I don't want to see any more of that.
She doesn't get pushed.
She gets TV time.
Barely.
Or what's the dewdrop?
She doesn't get TV time.
Roll that.
You're talking about the catering the golly, I messed that up. You're talking about the catering crusade. Go ahead. Next. So it's catering. Who else you got?
Becky Lynch.
She's the MILF. Who else you got?
She's the MILF. Yeah.
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 No, yeah.
Yeah.
That's subjective.
No,
Seth
it's
Rollins
objective.
didn't think that.
Well, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has a micro dick.
I'm sure a lot of people don't think that.
No, a lot of people do. It's got a micro penis.
I don't know. I see it through the trunks. It looks like it's hanging down there.
I saw, I saw it in real life because his ex fiance or ex girlfriend released it.
I don't even know who that is. Well, that's weird. But you looked at it.
Of course it did.
What do you do? No, of course. That is not an of course.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it just shows up on the screen. It's like, well, it's already there. Might as well.
No. You know,
Might as well
I
commit.
made mention of watching Paige probably about once a month. I never watched the Brad Maddox and Xavier Woods part. To this day, I've never watched that part.
Yeah.
I only watched the Page part, the solo Page parts.
Oh no, I have
I've
watched it
never
all.
seen the Xavier part, the Brad Maddox part, nor would I want to see that. I've never seen the Triple H part, or wait, no, not Triple H. The who was it? Sean X Pac. I've never seen the X Pac part. I've never
He
seen
whoa, he never had Paige.
no, not Page. I was referring to the China One Night in
Oh.
China.
Oh yeah, that was gross.
Although I never even seen the One Night in China, so you know,
That was
let's call
gross
that fair.
all around.
Um, who else was there that did some kind of leak? Sunny, she wasn't really a wrestler.
No, she was
Um,
she was with the last remaining bits of her dignity. She's gotten into some legal trouble too.
what this time? Of course she has. She got arrested again.
I think she's still arrested. I don't know if they let her have bail.
Oh, I mean, she gets. I don't know. She needs to do some time, like actual time. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about like an overnight stay. I'm talking about 2, 3, 5, 10, something like that. Like hard time. Making license plates time.
Oh, I think she did 3 years,
And
if
that
I'm not
wasn't
mistaken.
enough.
I
She's still
guess
getting in
not.
trouble for the same thing.
Yeah, she did 3 years, and then she did like she had to do like a psychiatric uh, nut house type deal, and she kept getting kicked out. I don't know. She's got issues.
Yeah. It's a sad story. On a unrelated note, but also on a related note of having issues and being like someone from my childhood, Britney Spears, she keeps posting like on her Instagram nude photos, but she's like covering up her parts.
Oh, so they're
So
not
like she
nude.
has her well no okay so she's nude right, but she has her hands over her
Oh, yeah.
nipples, but then like her fingers are spread so you could zoom like if you zoom really far you can
Okay.
see a little bit, but you can't. I don't know. But she keeps posting this like I don't know, maybe once or twice a month. She'll post like her full nude with covering up her parts. It's just weird. Weird in the fact that why is she just like all of a sudden posting her full nude stuff out? And is she setting up for something that I'll definitely watch if it do I need to be getting my arm warmed up for something? Like, are we closing in on something that that me and Fred Durst are gonna be watching? Because he probably would watch it,
Oh, of course you would.
even though he allegedly has been there already.
Yeah, he probably cries about it still.
I don't know. When I heard that story, I didn't believe him.
I did.
It didn't sound like it didn't sound like he had really hooked up with Britney Spears. It sounded like, yeah, I did it. Like,
Well,
and he was giving details that just didn't make sense. Like, she's full bush. Like, Okay, bruh. The top pop star in our generation is not Full Bush.
Well, to me, it sounded like they they got together, but he took it more seriously than she did. Like it was more like a one time deal.
Oh, well, he released that song, which I
Yeah.
did like. That was actually a pretty damn good song.
Yeah.
The I'd Eat You Alive or whatever.
Uh huh.
That's a pretty good song. I listen to it still when I'm working out and stuff, but it I don't know. It just didn't seem like it was a true story, which was odd.
Well, I think like I said, I think he developed feelings whereas she just wanted a dick.
Well,
And it was probably in the morning. He was making her pancakes, and she's like, "Oh, you're
you're still
still
here.
here." He's like, "I really want you to meet my parents." Why?
Did she ever confirm it? Oh, I don't know if she would have.
No. She was supposed to allegedly have a thing with Eminem too.
Mm,
I
that's
think
weird.
Eminem. I don't know. Now I may have just made
Eminem
that up.
doesn't strike me as a Britney Spears type of a guy,
Uh,
but I guess neither would have Fred Durst. But yeah, I just found it odd that she keeps posting these nudes, like she's grooming us for something.
well,
Now she's 40 now, so
is she really? God
if
damn.
you want to feel old, but I'll still be able to get there. I'm not I'm not 40 yet, so if you want to know about our age, I'm not 40. So she's older than us. But we did grow up in the Britney Spears era. We're just not 40 yet.
Man.
But can you imagine if she did go that route? Or if you could have one, like, I don't even know how to phrase the question. What who would be like your dream? I started an OnlyFans type person that I don't know. It was just like that person you're waiting on.
Oh, I don't know.
Like, oh man, the day. Not even saying you would pay for it. Maybe you go to like, the hub and and get it in there. But like, the hour I hear about it, I'm dropping everything, and penis will be in hand.
Um, shit, I don't know. Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei, an actor. She wasn't even a big actor in our young age, or
Yes,
maybe
she
she
was.
was, and I didn't know about her.
She won an Oscar. I think an Oscar.
I just know about her from Seinfeld.
Yeah. Yeah, she kind of peaked around then, but I don't know. I can't really think of an actress.
Yeah, I have. I don't know. I don't really have like from old times. I don't really have anybody that's like, oh, let me check today. Let's see if she's there. Um,
Stacey Dash. Do Stacey Dash.
I guess from my standpoint, it'd be someone like I don't know. See. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe like yeah. I don't really have anybody that's like through the years. I've just been like, no matter who that is or how what she looks like now, I'm still gonna be there.
Yeah, see, because like Vanessa Williams or something. That would have been something nice to see like 20 years ago, but today? I don't know.
Or it could even be someone like right now that's in, and it's like, if she were to have a leak or whatever, penis will be in hand within the hour.
There always seems to be a bunch of leaks.
Well, we already talked about that. I think those are on purpose.
Um,
I don't know how much leaking there's. You know, odd thing about that little glitch earlier, if we, that was a good time to talk about it as any. Odd thing about that glitch is nothing else, no other internet source went down.
no?
No, just the
Hmm.
PlayStation.
Maybe they're just trying to take us down.
It's like I got DDoSed for, and I didn't even say anything. You were saying it,
Oh, my truths?
and I don't even remember what we were talking about at the time.
We're talking about how horrible women's wrestling is.
I don't think we had gotten there yet.
Oh,
I don't know what we were talking about.
that's. But at least WWE have women wrestling as opposed to AEW. The things, things that they're doing.
I was like, where are you going with this? Oh, there's only three. Well, that's a high number.
That is.
Like when the total division is like 20 or
Mm-hmm.
30, that's a pretty high number.
It is.
Like more than one is a pretty high number. I'm sure. I don't know. I thought they were past this,
Nope.
but they're not.
That's another reason why I can't fuck with AEW. Because it's not. I don't know. It's just about the points. Like, oh, look at us. Look how open-minded we are. And it's, I don't know.
Look how inclusive we are.
Yeah.
We're all inclusive.
And it just doesn't work.
And crazy enough, I'd be okay with it if I was getting good wrestling out of it, or if I was entertained out of it. But I'm neither one of those two,
Right.
so that's where it becomes an issue for me.
Well, then it's like,
Like that's my only issue with it is it's Just bad television.
Well, I just don't like something shoved down my throat. Like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. And it's like, well, no, it's not. Like, just because you say it's the greatest thing ever, you got to put some effort into it, you know?
Yeah, actually four. I forgot four. I forgot one.
God damn.
But
They can do a faction.
I mean, the latest one wasn't even, and is not even a AEW employee. So there's that.
the
I don't know. We should just move on to a different topic because we're not talking about anything. This doesn't make for good listen.
no.
We either gotta let them in or we gotta move on. We gotta fill the people in or move on. That's where we're at with this right now.
Fair enough.
Like we can't just
Keep
we
tiptoeing.
can't just talk in code.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. We can move on.
Um, we can talk about our final story.
Okay. It
I know
is
we
the biggest
gotta,
one.
and it is a big one. It is the main event. Vince and Kennedy McMahon, CEO of the WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment, the publicly traded company, has gotten in trouble, or he is being investigated because he apparently paid a in, a paralegal to have an affair with him.
That's it.
Um, well, there's more to it. So, in this story, this came out. I think it started Thursday, maybe late Wednesday. So the information came out that he paid a par. Now this is just one paralegal. We don't know how many there were, like total. But this one
So what?
he paid
Vince McMahon, Vince McMahon did the Deshaun Watson.
pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much, you can take parallels from the story, but he the only difference is this was apparently consensual.
Well, my understanding is that her salary was increased while they were having an affair.
Yes.
Okay,
So he paid her $3 million
but that's in
to
total. That
no,
wasn't like,
that's and the salary. He paid her $3 million to be quiet about it,
and then her
and
salary.
and increased her salary
Oh, okay.
$100,000.
I'm failing to see what's wrong.
Well, here's I'll tell you what's wrong. And again, this is only one, so we don't know how deep this goes.
Uh huh.
Um, so what's wrong with it is WWE is a publicly publicly traded company, and when you're publicly traded, you need to like tell your shareholders where every penny of their money is going to, and they're paying you to better the business, or you know, they're not paying you to have an affair with an intern.
Okay, but
That's one. So he's basically stealing money from the company.
what do we know? He was stealing money. How do we know that that wasn't his money?
Well, that's what they're investigating.
Okay.
Like the 3 million, he well, he didn't say because this is all going through a lawyer, but where the belief is the 3 million was his own money, but then the the increase of salary that was company money. That's where they're getting it. Now, I don't think Vince McMahon's getting fired over $100,000. He
No.
could easily just, give them that money, but he's stealing from shareholders. That's a big deal.
I don't think that doesn't sound like stealing to me though. Like just simply increasing his salary. I don't
For
see. I mean, I
This isn't increasing your salary because you've been doing such good work. We want to keep you, so we're going to pay you more. This is I want to have sex with you, so I'm going to give you more money to do
yeah,
that.
yeah, but how many people get like promotions that don't deserve it though?
But they're actually doing the work. That's the thing. She wasn't.
She may have been doing the work. You don't know that.
No,
That
she
was
was doing
just
the work, all right.
she may have been doing the work, and then on top of that, just slobbing the knob.
And then, where it gets even better, apparently when he was done with her, he just passed her on. And this was in the report, by the way, so
Uh
I'm
huh.
not making these words up. He he passed her on to John Laurinaitis, people power, like a toy.
We passed her on.
Like he just said, "Okay, it's your turn," to John Laurinaitis.
Oh, so he see, so she earned that salary.
So I mean, she's pretty much a prostitute, is what she was.
Well, and if it was consensual, then I mean, I don't see how that's their fault.
Yeah, it was. It. They're saying it was consensual, so it's not a Deshaun Watson case per se. This
No.
is just about money being stolen from the company.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like it was. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
And
Maybe I'm
again,
just
we
not
don't know.
smart enough to see the wrong or the implications there.
Well, let's think about it in our terms, right?
Yeah.
Let's say we have uh I don't know, super chats or some kind of donation button. Let's say we have that and we're saying, "Hey, donate to us. All this money is going to go to, I don't know, betterment of the show. We're going to buy microphones and computers, all this." Right? We're telling people this. Now they're donating this to us to for this stuff. Turns out we're just spending it on hookers, and
Well,
it never comes.
that's not. See, again, you don't know that she may have still have been doing the job that she was hired to do. Just because she got a raise, like that's not uncommon. Like secretaries that bone their bosses get raises all the time for that simple fact. That doesn't mean that they're not good secretaries or that they're not fulfilling that job. They just have an extra job.
It just means they're not doing the job. I don't know. They're not getting promotions based off of their merits only.
Right. And
Their promotion isn't because they're the top paralegal in the company.
right. Unfortunately, that is a
And then
drawback.
now that becomes an HR issue too, because just that now is discrimination.
Yeah, but you got to prove that.
Well, you have a money trail.
Just giving her a raise isn't. I mean, she could have. There's the chance she could have
Doubling her
warranted a
salary.
raise too. Yeah, she may have been really good at her job. Why do you Why do you hate women?
And then the other
Why are you
paralegals
so?
they didn't have their salary. Like, I've never heard of a thing where like you get double the salary, and then you have people who are your coworkers that also don't get a bump in salary. Like, I don't know. Everywhere I've been that we've been where
I
we've
just
gotten a
want
promotion, it's like a department as a whole gets a promotion. Not this person gets a promotion. You, who do the same work, by the way, you get nothing because you're a dude, by the way.
to. I don't know. I want to know why a wrestling promoter needs paralegals.
Well, because WWE is this big conglomerate. They don't just do they don't just do wrestling shows. I don't know what a paralegal does. I'll be honest with you, but
They're
I
like
do know.
they're like little junior lawyers. They're not quite lawyers. They're kind of like nurses of the lawyer world.
Okay.
Like you know
Well,
how
there you
some
go.
like Scrubs, how Scrubs was trying to be a doctor, but he had to be a scrub first.
Yeah. So there you go. So they there's a lot of legal stuff that WWE has to go through. Case in point. So there's that. And this ain't the only thing. There was Mr. McMahon's also being um, sued by the ex. Uh, sorry, I'm pulling this off the top of my head. The ex owner of the XFL because
He
he
dipped.
wasn't paid him. He didn't pay him enough or something.
Yeah, I think
So
Vince
there's
just
that.
said
Also that.
he just washed his hands of that. He said, "I don't want anything to do with that."
Yeah. Apparently they tried to solve it without lawyers,
Hmm.
and the meeting lasted like 10 minutes. And
God.
they're like, okay, we're just gonna go the lawyer route.
Wow.
Like 10 minutes. You don't even get finished saying hi in 10 minutes.
Nope, you sure don't.
Like you're still in small talk at that point. Um, but to continue on, so now Mr. McMahon has temporarily stepped aside, stepped down, whatever the word
He's taking
is.
a step back.
Yeah, so he's no longer the CEO. In the interim, while this is all going on, he is just in charge of creative.
Oh, so yeah, the thing that he
And
needs to
then,
be taken away from, uh, they need to take him off of creative. He can still be CEO.
yeah, the one thing he doesn't need to touch, he's in charge of. But that could go either one of two ways. Um, because, as it were, oh, by the way, Stephanie McMahon is now the CEO in the interim, so we're still having McMahon in
I thought
charge.
she stepped away.
She did, but she's back
Oh, okay. Oh
because
yeah,
they needed
she
the.
and Stephanie and Triple H are also part of the board that will be doing the investigation, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, oh no, they're not going to be investigated. So there's 12 members of the board. They're all
Uh,
being investigated, except for there's a handful of people. Nick Khan, um, Stephanie, and Triple H. They're not going to be investigated. The investigation is going to be done by like a third party company. So there's no like, oh, we handled this in house and found nothing. There's going to be none of that. Like, it's a third party looking into this.
Yeah, but they'll make the decision. Like, there's no way that they're not gonna get rid of Vince.
Well, you don't know. I mean, yeah, he's not going anywhere, but he'll probably be back in a month. um, but it could go one of two ways. Number one, um, since Vince is the head of creative and Stephanie's the CEO, he doesn't have final say now. So that is one thing that can happen is he says, "Hey, I think we should do this," and Stephanie's like, "Actually, I'm the CEO right now. I don't like that idea. Come up with something else." Um, they can go that route, or what's likely is happening is Vince is still running everything and just using Stephanie McMahon as a puppet.
Yeah, that's probably that's probably the more accurate. It'd be kind of neat
But
if they gave Triple H a little bit more reign as far as creative for the main roster. Like,
yeah,
hey,
let him run the show. I
mhm.
remember there was a SmackDown. I don't remember the year. It's a couple of years ago. After like one of the Saudi shows, where the wrestlers couldn't make it back on time because there's you know the Saudi show was on Thursday, SmackDown was on Friday. There's a problem with the plane, so they couldn't get back in time for the show. So in walks Triple H with his NXT guys, and that turned out to be like one of the best SmackDowns in recent memory.
Yeah, yeah, he had something
Cause
good going on until they put a wet blanket over it.
yeah, they killed his baby, and now like you have this current version of NXT that no one's watching.
Yeah. Well, they stopped talking about NXT a while ago. It's just like, why get invested?
Yeah, exactly. Why get invested in someone if they're gonna when they get to the either they're not gonna make it to the main roster at all, or they're gonna get to the main roster and everything about them is gonna change.
Right.
Like why why would I get behind someone now when their name or their music or something that I have come to love about the character is not even gonna be there.
Or even if they are, they're just gonna be a joke.
Well, they've been changing everybody's names
Yeah.
and their music. Golly, their music. They like underplay how big music is in wrestling as a whole. Like it's probably the biggest part, one of the biggest parts of a character. That
Depends.
wins and losses.
I think it depends on the like certainly for WWE, but I think the smaller promotions they don't have the budget for as grand of an entrance as Vince does, so it's not as noticeable.
I think even then, like the choice of like the actual music, maybe you don't have like a CFO money or uh, Jim Johnson to write music for you, but you can have good music. Like even if you're using like I don't know why it's funny, but even if you're like going to I don't know stockmusic.com and using stock free royalty free music, you can pick good ones that are recognizable to the character. Like um, I found out MJF has royalty-free music, and that's his music is like within like a few seconds when you hear it, you know that's MJF.
Yeah.
Which is weird that it's royalty-free.
Bray Wyatt's was royalty free.
Yeah, and like within a few beats, you can tell who it was. These wrestlers now, like some of these theme songs, you don't even know. You hear it and it's like, who is this? You have to wait for like the Titantron to come on and say who it is.
Yeah. Well, they've had those types of theme songs for a while, especially like WCW. They had like all the theme songs kind of sounded the same.
Yeah, they did. WCW wasn't like, but then you also had like the NWO, Goldberg. You kind of knew his theme
Right.
within the first few beats. Ric Flair, of course.
The Four Horsemen.
I remember Vader's. Well, yeah, Vader. I remember his.
Hit.
Raven. Kind of remember his. I don't remember it now, but I remember that I remembered it. If that even makes sense.
I don't think Vader had a unique WCW theme.
Yeah, it was a like a ominous type scary theme. I remember because I remember like the music and him coming out in that like elephant mask. I was like, whoa. That was like the first person that like stuck out to me as like a wrestler
Yeah.
because of that his music and the and the elephant mask with the glowing red eyes.
I remember my first impression of him was when he was teaming with Jim Cornette. And he was feuding with Shawn Michaels and Jose Lothario. And his big.
Oh, poor Shawn Michaels. I remember him getting powerbombed and he was like he almost got killed.
But he did go to moonsault. Speaking of moonsaults.
Yeah, he did. But no one does the moonsault anymore.
No, they sure as shit don't. So what do you think's gonna happen to Vince?
I think I don't know. I think it's a slap on the wrist. I know wishful thinking for everyone is, oh, finally Vince is gonna get fired, and then
It's not
someone
wishful
new
thinking
is
for
gonna
me.
take over WWE, and they're finally gonna book better shows, and this is gonna save us as fans from what we've had to endure for the last 10 years or so.
It's been longer than that, man.
I don't know, since what the CM Punk pipe bomb, I would say was the pinnacle of wrestling for them,
Yeah,
and then ever since then it's just been downhill.
yeah. Although
Um,
there are more. I think there's more promotions today than there were. Around that time.
yeah. But yeah, that's the wishful thinking for everyone is like this. We finally got him. This is gonna be it. Good times are coming. Everybody's got their little champagne bottles out, thinking thinking the WWE saved now.
No.
Um, yeah, now that Vince is gonna get fired. Um, I think he's just he's gonna beat these charges. He's gonna be back in about a month, and everybody's gonna be depressed again.
Well, I guess only time will tell.
Um, but yeah, what I was saying about the creative. Let me jump back there a little bit. I was saying maybe this like because Vince, he's supposed to be like the creative mind. He thought of like all of this stuff, the NW, or he's thought of the Attitude Era, yada yada yada. So maybe being just focusing on creative, this little time frame that he is gonna do that, maybe this like reignites his passion for creative, or maybe this shows him, oh, this creative really does suck right now. We need to fix this. Like
I,
maybe getting that hands-on approach then shows him this is not good.
I don't know, because I think like back in the Attitude Era, it was just three guys and Vince sitting in their living rooms talking about how the show was going to be that next week or that very week. Well, as opposed to today, where you just have a room full of writers. They, I don't know.
That's true.
They already have your
What I'm
shit
saying,
lined out.
yeah, that's what you're saying, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe this is what shows him that there needs to be a change. Is having to be hands-on. I don't know. That's what happens in like Undercover Boss.
Yeah.
When the CEO has to go undercover, that's what opens their eyes to let them know that this stuff needs to change.
Well, here's the thing though. Vince is always at gorilla position and stuff. He has his hands in everything, so he's got to know just how bad the creative is.
Oh yeah, he does know for sure.
But
So
I guess we'll just have to wait and see what comes of that. I don't see him going anywhere though. But
yeah, I don't think he will, but it's definitely a big story, and it could be
it
like
is.
a huge story if it's
Yeah,
if he like yeah.
if he goes the Joe Paterno route.
Yeah, and again, we don't know how many people, because this is just one. And I know you say, wait, I thought you said she got $3 million in hush money. She did. So it wasn't her that leaked this information. It
It
was
was her friend.
someone else. Yeah. So
Which that's cheating. I would think that that's still a because that means she told her friend.
yeah, so she wouldn't really hush.
Yeah, she
But
violated
he
a
can't go get it back
non-disclosure.
now.
Yeah, you can.
No,
He has proof.
because you didn't.
He has verifiable proofs.
It's like
She signed a non-disclosure agreement. She clearly told her friend because her friend blabbed about it. Boom. 6
I
degrees
know,
of
but
separation.
it's like I don't know. It's like calling the cops on your drug dealer for stealing. Like you pay him and then he's like, I'm not giving you anything. Well, I'm gonna call the cops. What are you gonna tell him? I'm gonna tell him you stole from me. But you have to then also tell him what you were buying. Like
I don't know if that quite fits in
it's one.
this.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you can't call the person out or you're proving yourself guilty. Like, well,
It's not guilty
she's
to having an affair is not a crime.
no, no. And the sad thing in all this is no one even cares about the affair. Like, whatever. What they care about is him spending the company's money.
Oh, well,
Like,
it could have
no
been his
one's
money.
no one's caring about the affair. People have affairs every day.
Isn't Vince like a majority shareholder?
Yeah, he's like
Well,
80%.
well, there you go. It's his majority of it is his money.
Well,
Ah,
if someone
checkmate. Checkmate.
No,
I'm a lawyer.
we're not we're not arguing anything. We're just talking
Well, you're
about
you're
a
lucky
story.
too, because I would have won.
Well, you need to be on Vince's legal team.
I will. I'll get $3 million.
All I'm bringing up is the fact that this is a big story,
It is.
and it might become a bigger story if all this shit starts coming out. And there's like, now, what if there's like that? There's 3 million, but what if like, I don't know, six? What if there's six paralegals who come out? Now that three that
Then
3 million just turns into like 12 million.
then Vince needs to go on a suing spree because that means these paralegals are violating some NDAs.
But now,
What's the point of having an NDA if you're getting in trouble for it?
like, you are supposed to. These bitches aren't supposed to talk, and they're talking.
Yeah.
Breach of contract and all that. Well, I'm just saying, if now it becomes a much bigger thing if that happens.
Yeah. We'll
And
see. I mean,
as usual, we'll be here to cover it all if it. Well, not cover it, but we'll react to it all if it goes one way or another.
I think if Vince can survive the steroid thing, and if he can survive the rape accusations, um, I think this will be a walk in the park. That and I mean, he's almost
Well,
9.
that was in the 80s. This is in 2022 where you get canceled over having opinions.
Well, that and he's almost 90, so
He's not almost 90. He's like 70.
yeah, he's like 100,000 years old. He's like 100 bajillion gazillion years old.
That's not good for him.
No, but I mean,
That's just, what the people hear if you hear that? Oh, well, let's just get him out of office and we'll move on.
they've been saying that
let's
for
just,
years.
We'll just fire him.
They've been saying how out of
Now,
touch he is. I mean,
no, these are fans. This isn't like, they are making more money than they've ever made before. So,
yeah,
but, I don't, the money doesn't tell me if the product is good. The money doesn't tell me, oh, by the way, last Friday, he was on SmackDown. He didn't say shit, so we ain't gonna cover that. But they did also mention the upcoming SummerSlam main event. You want to know what that main event is?
Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes.
No,
Oh,
Cody Rhodes is actually injured, so it can't be him. It
yeah.
is Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Have you heard that match before? Yes, you have, because it just happened at WrestleMania.
I
Oh,
thought
and
Brock.
it just happened in Saudi. Oh, and it just happened at the previous
I
WrestleMania.
thought Brock Lesnar retired.
No, he's back.
Oh, Jesus.
So this is not their ninth match, seemingly in a row.
That's depressing.
So
Well, I guess on that, that's depressing. Let's just let's wrap up. Fuck that.
all right. Well,
Any final thoughts?
no, but if you have something to say, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
If you have anything to agree or disagree on, let us know in the comments.
And
Also, smash the like button. It helps us out in the algorithm. Make sure to subscribe. In the description, we'll have all of our links to follow us elsewhere, and that's all I have.
all right. I don't think I can add any more to that. So everybody have a good night, and we will see you next week.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, we didn't. We were dragging on.
Hold on.